The song overall, I think, immediately पछतो डाल दो ना किसी भी genre में, at least the feeling that I'm getting, it completely adds to that genre in a way that perhaps just the music cannot. Like it makes it like, if there's a Pashto rap song, if there's a Punjabi, Urdu, whatever rap song, the Pashto rap song, just because of the language ki apni rhythm perhaps stands apart in terms of feeling for me. Could also be me exoticizing the culture slash language, but I think, it's very different. आपको क्या ख्याल है?
The
Please help me.
tonality changes, and I
Yeah.
think what tends to happen here also is that people from different cultures go to different melodies naturally.
Yeah.
जैसे वो
Yeah.
ये U2 वालों ना, the Bono का एक वो line है, कहते हैं guitarists always go to this key, and it's
Right.
just that, like, depending what instrument you play or what language you speak or what things you've heard, there is a type of melody that you will lean towards naturally. We joke, like, if you're 14 and you liked a song, you spend the rest of your life trying to learn to play that song. आप वही गाना
Right.
बार-बार बजाते रहते हैं.
Right.
And so there's lots of theories like this, but basically I think people tend to produce one kind of melody more than another. So maybe it's just what we're hearing is not even the language, but that.
Yeah.
But I think the language definitely, for people that are less familiar with it, adds a different kind of flavor.
Yeah. Because I think Pashto ki language roots are also different from the perhaps common roots that Urdu, Punjabi, Hindi have. I think they have more of a Eastern connection, whereas Pashto seems to be more Farsi adjacent. Like Farsi is like a much bigger part of the Pashto makeup,
Right.
perhaps, than Urdu में जो थोड़ा सा एक हिस्सा है. I think yeah, so maybe that is. किसी qualified बंदे से भी पूछ ही लेंगे कभी. Do you know any linguists?
फिर उनसे कहेंगे कि ये take it over.
हाँ, clip आ जाएगी उनकी एक बीच में. We have a clip. But yeah, more Pashto music coming out. Do you feel?
I think so, much more than before.
Yeah.
Certainly much more that I'm coming across. So हो सकता है कि, like, it's just that my window has opened up enough to get to it. But I think what's happening is perhaps the amount of Pashto music that is happening in the genres that like Lahore and Karachi are listening to is increasing. So rap or ye thoda sa, Zahoor style, like kind of pop.
Right.
I think more of that is happening than has happened before, maybe. As the kind of like post-COVID, like remote collaboration type things are working and the scenes are getting more fluid between different cities. So I think we're seeing more of that happen now. And I think perhaps people are a bit more confident of dipping into their own languages as they see the success of the other languages. So like,
it can work.
Karachi mein te log Pashto bolte hain, so you don't need to go to KP to get Pashto songs, right? So it's possible that people in other places are producing Pashto songs as well, or producing Punjabi songs or Sindhi songs. So I think maybe that level of the scene is maturing enough that you can dip into that without having to have it be like a token thing.
And I suppose it's also an immediate way to stand out in perhaps a scene that's getting crowded, where there's a lot of hip hop, and sure, there's a big Karachi sound, but then हम अक्सर कह चुके हैं कि all the Karachi hip hop scene has a similar sound. Not saying that they all sound the same, but they have a similar sound, similar subject matter. There's definitely a group sort of vibe to it. Lahore ka rap scene, not as homogenous leaning perhaps, but still clearly not the Karachi scene. तो अगर आप उसमें पहली बार language ही बदल दें अपनी, immediately perhaps as a business decision, it might also be, might make all the sense in the world के, market तो है. So if people want to listen to hip hop and they want something new, Pashto might be it. And फिर वो वाली बात भी कि Zahoor की success, and obviously things roll forward exponentially where लगा चलो इसने कर लिया तो maybe we can do it.
I think that part is really important, which is that once you see an example of something that's happened and maybe you even receive support from them, like एक Fortitude वाले rapper होते थे ना, Pakhtun rappers, they used to be like the one kind of Fortitude Pakhtun core, I think is the way what they call themselves. So it's kind of this like super group of Pashto rappers. So like I think that sort of thing, once you see it happen, and then maybe like somebody talks to someone and they're like, well, I can probably do this also. So I think the effect of one or two pioneers is exponential, as you said. क्या वो 5-6 लोगों से बात करेंगे, वो 5-6 और लोगों से बात करेंगे. So maybe we see that happen quite a bit. And this sort of transition is happening much faster now than it has happened before. I think because the barrier to entry of producing electronic music is so much lower, and people can learn so quickly, and there's so much music that you can draw from. I think that's probably what's happening.